Much like yesterday, the market seems to be following a similar pattern where we spend the better part of the trading session lying absolutely flat, and then in the last 1 hour comes the tide which drifts us lower, and it was a similar price movement today as well. Quite better part, and then finally in the last lap of the trade we dragged to the session lows, breached the 17,900 mark as well today, and we've closed with a 100-point dip coming in. And similar was the price action for the broader markets as well, wherein we've closed with over 100 stocks in favor of the declines within the F&O segment alone. Sectorally, if you were to take a look at the texture of the market, we were a lot better perhaps than what we saw yesterday, where only autos were the ones which were aiding the helping hand. So today you had some of the technology names, power as well as media sectorally, which were relative outperformers, while all the other sectors bled. But that said, amidst the gainers, and SBI Life, for instance, held out. Maruti, Tata Motors have been seeing excellent follow-through price action from their moves yesterday when the Morgan Stanley note on the semiconductor chip shortage in Malaysia easing out came. So Maruti as well was today too a winner to the tune of about 2%, and Tata Motors as well, which saw price action of 1.6% in trade today. Asian Paints, after the price hikes that they undertook, that was also a winner to the tune of about 2%. ITC as well as NTPC and Tech M were some of the other winners today. That said, mid-cap IT continues to be the flavor, and that was one space which was holding out very smartly. So LTTS, Birlasoft were both big winners. That said, the one space which continues to find favor for investors continues to be healthcare services. And look at the way Apollo Hospitals has actually shaped up after its earnings got announced today as well. It was a big mover, big breakout follow through, another 12% up in the green for Apollo Hospitals today as well. That said, a large part of the market was under pressure today. So everything from a UPL, which was down over 3%, Reliance Industries, which was down 3% yesterday, another 2% shaved off today as well, Britannia, Eicher Motors, Divis Labs, Axis Bank, IOC, Cipla, Shree Cement, Kotak Bank, Sun Pharma, Adani Ports. I can go on with the list of losers, and even some of the large cap IT names were relative underperformers at that. From amidst the broader markets as well, it was a similar story. So Chambal Fertilizers, for instance, was down about 5.5%. Godrej Properties lost 4% in trade. MCX was down 4%. There was Glenmark Pharma as well, which has been reeling under pressure after its earnings, and today too it was lower by about 3.5%. So was the case with an Indus Tower as well, which was a bit of a drag within the F&O segment. That said, all eyes are really on the primary market, because tomorrow you've got the biggest of them all, the Paytm IPO, which debuts on D Street. So that's going to really keep our mornings busy. Let's see how it actually pans out after a relatively lukewarm response to its IPO, as opposed to what we've seen for its erstwhile candidate. That's how Nykaa's IPO was, for instance, received. So let's see how this one pans out. It sure seems out to be an interesting trading session tomorrow.